Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you my triple tea bag treat. So I do like to use things that people would probably have every day. Likewise, I also like to use the same kind of products all the time so that you can get an idea of different things to make with them. I've made quite a few different projects with these little tea bags. They're just single packets. This one actually holds 3. I don't know if you can see, so I've actually got them inside, 2 the right way up and then the middle one is upside down, so they just sort of sit like that. But yeah, I do quite like it. Love tea bags, love tea. I've actually got a cup of tea just here right now. So yeah, but yeah, I just think they're lovely. They're ideal little thank you gifts, favours, anything like that. So let's get on and make them. Really simple. So for the actual box itself, you need a piece of cardstock that is 6.5 by 3.5 inches, which is 16.5 by 9.5 centimetres. Whoops. On the long side, we're going to score at 3 and 3.5 inches. Sorry, I was doubting my own measurements then, which are 7.5 and 9 centimetres. And on the short side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to go with 3 because it says 3.5, but that's how wide the card is. So I'm going to go with 3, which is 1.5 and 8 centimetres. Just scribble out the half before I write it down wrong. And then we're going to fold. This looks completely different to the one I've made, so I'm hoping that it's still the right way. Fold and burnish these lovely score lines. Okay, let me just check this. Oh yes, it is right. It looks so much wider than that one, don't you think? Don't know, maybe it's just me. Right, so scissors then we are. Now for this I always cut mine slightly different. You've got 2 options. You can either cut them so that your tabs are across the bottom, or you can still cut them as you would normally and then hide them in between the cardstock. So to hide them across the bottom, you will need to cut the little squares either side here across the bottom and then create your tab this way. And the reason I generally do this is because if your tab was to be cut this way, when you fold it up, it would go up there, and then when you go to put your tea bags in, it would just keep catching and it becomes a nuisance. So I always do mine this way so that there's nothing for them to catch on. So I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. So again, across the bottom there, and then make the tab this way. I feel like I've just spoke in complete riddles, but I'm hoping that you understand. Okay, so once we've done that bit, we just need some adhesive. So I've got my Stampin' Seal Plus here just to put a little bit on those bits there, which, as I said, will then go across the bottom. Just put that into the box, and then along the sides here, which I can't seem to do in a straight line anymore, and then this just simply closes over there. Make sure it's lined up, and likewise here, just make sure that it's lined up. And there's your bag for your tea bag. So as I said, 2 the correct way in the middle, one upside down, and that will just go in there. So for the next part then, you need a strip of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 2, and that's 23.5 by 6 centimetres, and on the long side we're going to score at 4 and 4.5 inches, which will be 11 and 12.5 centimetres. Again, we're going to fold and burnish this score line here. I'm then going to bring in my beautiful scalloped tag topper and just, it is slightly bigger, so you kind of have to feed it in and just make sure that it's all central. And I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. So that's punched that bit out. And then you just need your DSP to decorate, and this is 1 3/4 by 6 3/4 in length, and that is 6 centimetres by 17 centimetres wide. What I generally do here is pop this on to my box here, and I will then get my DSP that I know I've measured to line up with the top of the box. Can you see there? So it will line up with the top of the box there. And then I'm just going to make sure that I'm completely happy with it being level, and then just fold it round to there, and then again take it off and press these goodness me, I can't speak, score lines, the fold lines, just obviously reinforce those. I don't know where my brain was at then, but it clearly wasn't crafting. Okay, so once you're happy that this is on and in place, then we just need to add some adhesive. So I'm actually going to add adhesive down the sides, then across that centrepiece, and then down again, just a little bit across the top, stop it getting caught up on anything. I don't actually know why I used my Seal Plus then, but never mind. And then I would put this piece in place first. You need to obviously line up just to make sure that you've got it relatively central, and then that you can go, oh, that's gone extremely wonky, never mind. And then I want to just add some adhesive in here. Just remember that this is the box is wider, so if you add your adhesive, just make sure that you've put it on the right place. And then this simply goes again in the centre, and then as long as you haven't put your adhesive all the way to the top like I have just there, can you see? Just a tiny bit just there, then you should be okay, but I'm silly. And then make sure if you have direction on your DSP that it's going the right way on the front, because obviously this is the back and it's upside down. And then I have the beautiful basket weave ribbon here, and I only need a tiny bit because it literally feeds through here, and it's just really for that little bits there. And then I've used this lovely gold out of the Forever Greenery ribbon combo, and this will just tie round into a bow. Now if you remember again, if you're doing anything like this, if you have a little clip or a peg to hand, it's always helpful. So tie this nicely into a bow, and then I can just take that peg out of the way and just manoeuvre my bow to whatever size I want. Trim those bits off, And I did actually untwist this to fray the ends, just because I thought it would look quite good. Oh, just don't fiddle with it now, leave it. Right, and then I just need to add this cute little sentiment. It says, hey there, thank you. But you may be wondering how I've done that, because Beautiful Autumn, it's not going to work, so I'm going to show you how I did it. First thing I need to do though is to cut out my die, and these are Tasteful Labels. So I'll just clear a little bit of space. My Whisper White here, scrappy bit, and then my beautiful new machine, which I love so much. Right, pop that on there, that on there, that on there. Let's wing it through here. Beautiful, I love my machine. Thank you, Stampin' Up. I love my machine. Okay, so there's that beautiful label die cut out. Just get rid of this rubbish because it's bothering me now. And then, so I've got my Mint Macaron ink pad. So the first thing I need is Hey There. And the way I did this, so the first thing I did was made sure my ink pad, my stamp was clean. And then, because it's photopolymer, I can see through the top. And all I did was just inked up the word hey. Not there, just hey. Using the edge of the ink pad as a guide. Okay, so it's now just got the ink on. So I'm going to pop that on the top. Then I need to give my stamp a really good clean. And then I need to stamp it off lots to make sure that I haven't got any ink on the word hey. Turn it round and do exactly the same with the word there on the edge of the ink pad, and then that will go again. With it being photopolymer, I can see where I can stamp it, so it's probably not quite central, but I didn't want to stick my head completely in shot. And then thank you is slightly, is exactly the same, because again it's photopolymer, it's so much fun. So the word thank gets inked up. The only thing I would say with this one is just be careful, because the loop of the Y swings across a little bit, so as you're doing that K, just make sure you don't catch that one. So that can go there. Again, stamp and scrub, giving my stamp a really good clean, and then stamp off, and exactly the same again. Now you can do masking if you prefer, and that's simply putting something over the other text when you ink it up. So you'd cover up the you first and stamp thank, but I find that a bit messy and I get messed up with that. I find this a lot quicker, cleaner and easier to do. And obviously there is now my sentiment, which I just need some dimensionals on, and that is your little gift. Perfect. Cute little thank you treats. And this just goes on the centre there. And there they are. My cute little triple tea bag treats. Hope you like them. Thanks for joining me. See you all again soon. Bye.